What's going on, guys? My name's Andrew, and I got a game here for you on Shooting Range. And I don't get the greatest score in the world in this game, but I do go fucking John Rambo on these bitches, and I think I get a few triple sprays, so, you know, I thought it was worth a watch. So unfortunately today I don't have many tips for you. I haven't had too much time to devote to this game lately, and I'm still actually trying to learn it myself, so I don't really want to steer you guys in the wrong direction, you know, by giving you some tips that may get you killed, because this is actually a totally different beast than Modern Warfare 2. But all in all, I'm very happy with it. You can tell that they had a lot of sleepless nights at Treyarch trying to perfect this game. However, there are some things in the game that I find a little bit frustrating, like panic knifing, you know. I think that the range on the knife is just a little too generous. But, you know, beats one-man army noob tubes, right? So hopefully they'll patch that, because that's probably my biggest gripe with the game. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Patches. That might sound kind of boring to some of you, but hear me out, alright? If we look back for a second, obviously with Modern Warfare 2, people were up in arms about things like Commando, noob tube, stuff like that, believing that they had no place in the game to begin with. If we could be honest with ourselves for a second, when they were drawing up ideas for perks during development of Modern Warfare 2, I really doubt that they thought that it would have turned out to become this online clusterfuck, you know? And if I can remember correctly, I don't believe I heard anyone complaining about the perks up until a few months after the game was released. So I don't think I'm wrong in saying that the unbalanced features of the game took some time to surface as exploits. So anyway, after picking up Black Ops a week ago, playing it a bit, I think it's a safe bet to assume that this game is much more refined than Modern Warfare 2, and that Treyarch learned a lot from their predecessor and really tried to stress the importance of balance in a Call of Duty game. It might kind of make you wonder why these attempts to make a game an even playing field weren't done sooner with Modern Warfare 2, when it was everyone's go-to game. I know that a lot of you will instantly answer that question with, well, because Robert Bowling and Infinity Ward are a bunch of assholes, you know, because they don't care about the people that play their game. I've heard that statement a million times. And, well, I've been giving it some thought lately. I think people who make those kind of statements are being a little too dismissive to the problem and actually don't want to try to find out the reasons why they weren't supporting their game. From what we were told, Bowling was a creative strategist, which meant he needed to accumulate community feedback and have that implemented into the game, whether it be through patches, future map packs, whatever. And it's fair to say that he didn't do a good job at that. And I don't think anyone would actually deny that claim. But, you know, that begs the question. Well, if he wasn't doing his job properly, shouldn't he have been fired? Because from what we've seen, he was in no way part of that development team. And I think it's fair to say that once he stepped into that office every morning, that he had no power in regards to how the game would be maintained. It wouldn't be a far-fetched statement to assume that he was nothing more than a PR guy, and they brought him in just to sell more copies. I don't know if you guys remember, but before Modern Warfare 2 was released, people just absolutely loved him and wanted to eat his shit. Like, god damn it, he was like the motherfucking second coming of Christ. And now look at it, I mean, like such a 180. I mean, people want him hung from the highest branch, and they're blaming him for all the poor post-launch support that the game has received. But I believe that even though his position at Infinity Ward was publicly known, I think it was a lie. You know, kind of like a business tactic to make people more at ease that this game would always be perfected upon, and because of that people would just buy copies. And I think now it's common knowledge that Infinity Ward didn't have anyone dedicated to getting public feedback. Maybe during the game's production, but after it was released, I don't know. I really didn't see it. I think people need to look a lot harder at why the game was essentially left to fend for its own. And to be blunt, I really don't think Infinity Ward was to blame. If you guys can recollect the first time you played Modern Warfare 2, I don't think there was any denying that even if COD 4 was a great game, in that first month of playing Modern Warfare 2, it really surpassed COD 4, and I think it surpassed expectations. But after a while, you know, the exploits surfaced, and well, anyway, that's another story. But the point I'm trying to make is that after playing the game, in those beginning stages, there was no denying that Infinity Ward put their blood and sweat into their game, and that they were trying to set the bar higher in terms of everything really, like sound, graphics, gameplay. And I think that we're wrong in saying that they didn't care about their game. Now, did they want to fix those things? Probably. I think that they wanted to, but we all know that they didn't. And instead they just, I don't know, they just chose to completely ignore us. And the reason for that, I think, is because of the cost. Because with Commando, noob tubes, and all that stuff, We're not talking about glitches that can be addressed from a programming team in an afternoon. Like now we're talking about changes that would drastically affect gameplay, you know, through rearranging perk slots, stuff like that. And I think that fixing those issues will cost far more money and far more manpower than they were willing to give up. So again, could they have fixed it? Of course they could. And did they want to? Nobody knows, but I believe so. But when it comes down to manpower, dollars an hour, and fixing a game that has already been released, well, at that point it becomes Activision's call. And Modern Warfare 2 was Infinity Ward's baby, and I'm sure that they wanted to do whatever they could to make that game enjoyable for the rest of us. At the end of the day, Robert Bowling, the entire Infinity Ward staff, no matter how much flack they might take from the rest of us, they have to answer to Activision. And if Activision wants Bowling to ignore community feedback, Bowling will do that. If Activision wants Infinity Ward to not patch their game, Infinity Ward will have no choice but to accept that. And, and probably to watch half their staff leave the company. So anyway, if people are disappointed with how well a product is supported, then they need to look at who signs the paychecks, because in the end, they're the ones who hold all the cards. If you look at it through the eyes of Activision, I guess you could call it a business standpoint, would it make more sense to continually fix a game that will only be a hot commodity for the next few months? Or to take that community feedback and have it implemented into the next game? And it's a tough question to answer, but there's no denying that the Call of Duty fans who were the most frustrated with Modern Warfare 2 were the ones who were waiting in line for over an hour at the midnight release of Black Ops. So, I don't know, maybe everything just played out the way Activision had hoped for. Some of you may be wondering why I chose to talk about this, you know, because Modern Warfare 2's heyday's over. And I just thought it was important for us to discuss the past so that we know what to expect from Activision with Black Ops and for future COD games for that matter. So if you happen to agree with me, please thumb up the video. I know that some of you guys may not, and if you don't, you know, that's alright. These are just my opinions. If you think I sound like a complete jackass, you know, you can go ahead and thumb down the video. But if you're going to thumb down the video, I would ask that you leave a comment telling me your point of view and why you happen to disagree with me. So anyways, guys, final score was 30-5. Take it easy.